All right, Bears fans, 2018 season is about to be upon us. It's right around the corner, and we're going to go through our win-loss predictions of the season.
Yep.
And joining us is our very special guest. We got Will from the Bears Brothers. Welcome, Will.
What's up?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you taking the time to come on here and talk about the Bears. Very optimistic about this year, man. Everything's looking really good. We had a great offseason, as you already know. And for all those that are watching, go subscribe to the Bears Brothers.
Yes.
Go to their podcast, download it. Go to their website, thebearsbrothers.com. Nobody covers the Chicago Bears like these guys.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Will?
That's correct. I appreciate that. I need you guys. I need to be on more often. That just kind of pumps me up here.
And all that information, the links are all going to be in the description box down below, guys. Do
Absolutely.
it. You won't be disappointed.
Especially the Bears fans. Every single one of you guys, you better go do it.
Yeah.
Or I'm coming after you. All right, Will, let's get right into the season. I'm so excited. However, starts off kind of shaky, man. Week 1, Sunday night football. We're on prime time.
Uh-oh.
But we're starting against those cheesehead Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. I'm a little worried about this one, man. What about you?
I mean, I think that's a given, right? I think the Bears, they've lost 14 out of the last 16 games against Green Bay. I think the last win was on that Thanksgiving game, which I'm still relishing that one, which I think just goes to show just how starving we are as Bears fans to kind of get back to the pack a little bit and take charge in this series. It's been an atrocity, watching the all-time series go from us having like a 10-game lead. Now they have like a 2-game lead. Yeah. But no, you said it. It's Sunday night. I apologize. It's going to be a primetime game. Coach Nagy's first time coaching a real game as Chicago Bears head coach. I understand that perhaps it's a little worrisome, but also Green Bay does tend to start the season a little bit slow,
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
Yes.
We've been talking about this a lot. He's going to come back more pissed off than ever. Very vindictive. He's going to be on a MVP type season. And usually they start off slow. I think, this is a game that we could possibly win, despite the fact that Green Bay Packers have pretty much owned us for a good while.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers here in Lambeau to start the season. As optimistic as I am about the Chicago Bears this year, and I think they'll be a pretty decent team. But
I know that hurt.
What a tough game to start off with.
That hurt, didn't it, Josh?
That does sting.
Yeah. No, I think y'all are going to be able to compete with them. But it's still a little bit too early in the season to know how far along Mitchell, right? He likes Mitch, whatever he likes to go by. Mitchell Trubisky, how and him, Matt Nagy, are on the same page. It's a brand new offense for him. So it might take a little bit to kind of get in rhythm and with the receivers and all that. So I just think it's a little bit too much early in the year to beat and upset Green Bay here.
But imagine, Will, if we beat the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football in Lambeau, what a great way. There's no better way to usher in the Matt Nagy era than this one.
Nope.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I'm not going to lie. You say it, I'm already getting goosebumps. I mean, I'm going to go with the Bears here, guys, and that's because I'm a Bears fan first and foremost. But secondly, I think, again, the Packers, they tend to start off the season slow. Right. Secondly, they're going to have zero tape on what the Bears' new look offense is going to come in and try to do to them. They're not going to be able to properly game plan. So if they can, hold up their end of the bargain on defense, which this is the top 10 defense that's returning all its key players. Roquan Smith signed today. Hallelujah. So we should be able to have him out there week 1. I feel good about our chances. I know that they lost Jordy Nelson, but they got Jimmy Graham. But I feel like our tight ends are our nickel corner Bryce Callahan against Randall Cobb. I like the matchups on defense enough to keep us in games. The issues in the past, for the past couple seasons, has been offense and not scoring nearly enough points to win us these games. I think our defense keeps us in it, and if Trubisky delivers and the Packers aren't really knowing what to expect from this offense, and we bust a few bigger plays that can kind of swing the momentum, I'm going to give the Bears this one. I think it's a good way.
Man.
I know it's tough. It's tough, but I feel like it's going to be harder the second. It's going to be harder the second time around once they get some tape on us. So I'm going to take it now. I'm going to take my win against Green Bay now because later in the season, I don't know.
You make some great points, man. You got me excited. I'm hyped. And, we're going to be streaming for that game.
Yes, we will.
Doing the play-by-play. And
see Josh cry of happiness, cry of sadness.
We win. I'm going to be very excited.
Yep.
And I'm going to rub it all in Tom Grossi's face, that cheesehead. Shout out to him. All right, heading into week 2.
Another prime time.
Yeah, we're still on prime time. This time, Monday Night Football. We're hosting the Seattle Seahawks. This is our home opener. Well, the Seahawks, they're not the same team like they used to be. I mean, defensively, they lost a lot of that legion. Boom. Their offensive line is pretty shaky. I do like Rashad Penny. I think they reached for him a little bit there, but I think he still will be good. Now, the one thing that really scares me, of course, is Russell Wilson. I mean, this is a guy who I think is a top 5 quarterback in the league. But how do you see this one playing out? You think the Bears can get this win here?
It's tough. I think, if the Bears can find a way to split week 1 and week 2, we're going to be in pretty good shape. So since I do have the Bears beating Green Bay, that's just because that's what I want to see happen. I'm going to say Seattle wins this one. They were 9-7 a year ago. Like you said, they haven't been, the same Legion of Boom, but they still have Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor back there. And I think that's going to be tough for Trubisky, right? Those are 2 really strong safeties, and it's going to be tough for him to take care of the ball, perhaps avoid some troubles, push the ball downfield against some of those guys. So for me, I see Seattle, but at the same time, no Richard Sherman, no Michael Bennett, Sheldon Richardson, Jimmy Graham, Paul Richardson. I think if the Bears, if they want to find a way to win this game, it's all going to come down to pass rush and containing Russell Wilson. I think that's really what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I think is actually going to be Chicago winning this one. Now
there we go.
I know I'll be smart here and make you happy. He'll hit me if I don't pick the Bears sometimes. No, I got the Bears because of the fact that I don't trust the offensive line of Seattle. Their offensive line, they didn't address it all in the draft, which is very disappointing. How you not protect Russell Wilson, I don't understand it. He is a magician. He knows how to escape, but that's what's going to keep them in the game.
Yep.
But I'm not sold on their defense either. Losing Michael Bennett, Richard Sherman. Now, Cam Chancellor, I know it hasn't been official yet, but a lot of people say he might be retiring. So until it's official, because of that neck injury, we'll have to wait to see. But especially if he's not there, then definitely I think Chicago can put up some points.
Jordan Howard's going to have a monster game in this one.
Yeah.
I know it. So I'm going Chicago Bears winning right here, Monday Night Football. Again, this is a primetime game, so we'll be streaming for everybody. Yeah. So tune in for that. All right. Well, I got them 1-1.
I got 1-1.
Will's got them 1-1 as well.
1-1.
All right. Let's head into week 3. Bears on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. It seems like every time we play the Cardinals, it gets it gets a little interesting. And the Cardinals is a team that I think is being a little overlooked going into this year. Their defense was very solid last year, despite the fact that they lost, the Honey Badger. He's always injury prone, so they'll be fine. Patrick Peterson, he's one of the best corners in the league. David Johnson coming back. It wasn't a leg injury he was dealing with. It wasn't a knee injury. It was a wrist. He had plenty of time, so he's going to be looking really good.
Yep.
I expect Sam Bradford still to be the quarterback here.
He hasn't gotten hurt yet. Yeah.
Right. And with Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Cook, he's looking good right now here in the preseason. So I'm going with the Chicago Bears, but I think this will be a pretty tough game. Tougher than I think Bears fans will, most Bears fans will probably realize. Because Arizona is not a team to be slept on.
No, they're not.
What do you think, Will?
It's tough because you mentioned they're really good defense, and it seems like they're not going to be taking a step down. I think they finished like 6th in total defense a year ago, but they did give up like the 19th most points or fewest, so the 11th most or 12th. I'm not a math major. I was a journalism guy, so I apologize if my math is not correctly accurate. But no, this is tough because, it's going to be Coach Nagy versus another first-year head coach in Steve Wilkes. So it's going to be interesting to see how those kind of battle out, because I feel like, Nagy, he's a prideful guy. And I think that even though it's, kind of unrelated that it's another first-year head coach, I think he wants to show that he's here and he's turning around this franchise, and that I don't know if the Cardinals were looking into him as a coach, but perhaps like, hey, you should have maybe looked at me a little bit. Look at me. I'm Coach Nagy, and I'm bringing up the monsters of the Midway. But it's tough. I think it depends on what the offense can do against this defense, but I'm going to go with the Cardinals here just for that defense. I feel like they're going to do, with Bradford, if he's going to be quarterbacking. I wish Mike Glennon would somehow find some playing time. That would help us out. that would be a sight to see. But no, I think the offense is going to score more points than it did a year ago. I think the defense is going to be about on par. So for those reasons, I believe that the Bears are going to have a tough game in this one. And after 2 primetime games, getting back to that noon kind of kickoff, they might be like a little flat maybe, especially traveling all the way down to Arizona. So yeah, a little lethargic, a little flat. Okay. So for me, unfortunately, I have the Bears going 1-2 after 3 weeks.
Okay. What about you, Sean?
This one was a toss-up for me.
Was it?
It was, because I feel like the Bears are a better team overall, especially adding all those weapons, But y'all are still a young team, especially on offense with Mitchell Trubisky.
Sure.
Going on the road against a good defense, and Steve Wilkes, I think he's going to just feed the ball to David Johnson. He's going to be, I'm going to let my defense control the game, and we're going to run the ball. And I think that the Bears are going to give it away a little bit, just being young and inexperienced a little bit this early in the season. If this was later in the season, I'd probably pick the Bears, but since it's on the road in Arizona, I got to go with Arizona here.
Sam Bradford's going to throw 2 interceptions, one to Amos, one to Fuller.
That could very happen. Now, if that happens, then Bears, it's all going to come down to that.
All right. Yeah. I'm going Bears. You guys are going Cardinals. All right, heading into week 4, Chicago Bears back at home in Soldier Field, hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What is there to talk about in this one?
We got to beat these Bucs, man. The last couple of times we played them, they destroyed us.
Yeah. No Jameis Winston, though.
No Jameis Winston.
He's still out. This is the last game he's suspended for.
No, he'll be back for this game.
I thought he suspended 4 games.
3 games. It's a 3-game suspension.
Oh, it's 3.
He'll be back for this game.
Okay, my bad.
But nonetheless, we're still going to get this win. We're going to get this win. We're going to get revenge on the Tampa Bay Bucs. Do you agree, Will?
Yeah, absolutely. The Buccaneers last year, dead last in total defense. It seems like they didn't know what they're doing and trying to even find a way to fix it. So I say thank you, Tampa Bay. I mean, I can definitely go against that same defense again. But no, I think the Bears defense going up against Jameis Winston in his first game back, he's going to be a little rusty, a little bit out of the flow. And I feel like, coming to Soldier Field, the Bears should be able to set the tone, and they can do so defensively. I feel like our offense, with all the new weapons that we brought on, can definitely do the job to get this the victory. And I think my biggest concern would be on offense. Tampa's offense, our defense, would be Mike Evans, right? I mean, he's a monster. Last year, he just tore us apart. He had that touchdown early, set the tone for the game. And if that happens again, and we're playing from behind, that's not winning formula, especially against, an offense that has like a Mike Evans. And, Jameis, he can come out hot. I mean, I think he'll be a little bit flat, but you never know. He might come out with a little bit of an edge because he missed football for 3 weeks. So you never know how it can go one way or the other. But regardless, I think the Bears are by far the better team, and they should come away with a win and get back to 2-2.
I'll also say this: the Tampa Bay's offensive line is pretty weak. I think we're going to be able to put pressure on Jameis Winston, and this is a guy that, Sean, we already know that he makes a ton of mistakes. He likes to force that ball a lot. He can walk out of this game with 3 interceptions. Yeah. I mean, that's not even exaggeration. This is a guy against our secondary. Yeah. Yeah, that very well could happen. Now, the thing that's the scariest about the Bucs outside of Mike Evans is their D-line. That is a stacked defensive line. They got
JPP now. Yeah. They got some veterans over there now.
Yeah, so Gerald McCoy. Yeah. So that's a sick D-line they got over there. But we're gonna get this win, and I think we're gonna win by at least 10 points.
Yeah, they might be able to slow down Jordan Howard, right? Because of that D-line. But
Trey Cohen's going to go off.
Yeah, I don't see them stopping y'all's passing game at all. Their secondary was atrocious. So I just look at it like that. And their offensive line, are they going to give Jameis Winston enough time in the pocket? Mm-hmm. We see when he'll throw it up. Even if he's about to get sacked, he'll just fling it up there. And Amos will come up with a pick. I think Jameis Winston throws 2 picks here. And y'all take care of business at home.
Okay.
So
I like it. Could I chime in here real quick, guys?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. So Tariq Cohen, what I saw from camp, I saw about 90% of the open practices, and about 85% of the time he's actually lining up at wide receiver, maybe even less than 15% in the backfield, which is very interesting. But I think against Tampa Bay's linebackers, and even like if they want to put a safety on Cohen, this could be a game where Cohen goes off, in terms of the passing attack, because I don't know if they can bottle him up because he just has that kind of playmaking ability. And like you said, the secondary is not that good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been following all of y'all's training camp coverage, and when you guys were mentioning that, I was telling Sean, I was like, we got to pick up Tariq Cohen in PPR leagues. This guy is
you better
go off. Yes.
Daily fantasy.
All right. So We all got a win here. Now, Week 5 is a bye week.
Ah, it's early?
Yeah, early bye week. Kind of sucks.
I don't know if I like that.
But coming out of the bye week, we have the Miami Dolphins on the road. Now, Dolphins is a team that I have a lot of questions on. Ryan Tannehill, he's coming back.
Yep.
He looks pretty, pretty good in the preseason, and they're in the offseason. He's taking charge a lot, more than he used to. But this is a lot different of a looking Dolphins team than when he last played.
Yep.
They lost some guys like Ndamukong Suh,
Jarvis Landry.
They lost Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
So I'm not really feeling this Miami Dolphins team this year. They just got Loggins, our former offensive coordinator, is now over there. So, this is going to be a win here on the road. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, Loggins I don't think he's really going to have much say, so I think he's just a name just to put in there. Adam Gase is running that offense, hands down. But it's like, which Adam Gase are we getting? Because the first year, he took them to the playoffs. It was the hottest team. They won like 8 straight to make it to the playoffs. And then last year, we already know they were atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
So, could that be because Ryan Tannehill? Probably. But, yeah, they're a completely different team now. So, I got to go Chicago on the road, especially coming out of a bye week. Y'all are going to be prepared to take care of business on the road.
Even Tannehill's looking good. I mean, who is he throwing the ball to? Devontae Parker? I mean, this is a guy who's just been nothing but a disappointment.
Every year they say he's going to break out, and he never does.
Kenyon Drake, I'm interested to see how he's performing this year. But what do you think, Will?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, who else did they get? Albert Wilson and some other slot receiver. It was interesting. They lost a lot of guys.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the other guy I was talking about. So there we go. Yeah, so I don't know. You already mentioned it. I mean, they're very mediocre black team. Last year, 25th total offense, 28th points scored. Doesn't scare me, especially against this defense. They're in the middle of the road in terms of total defense, but they gave up like the 3rd most points. So that should really go in the Bears' favor here. So, yeah, I'm going to give this one to the Bears. I think I forgot the name, and I apologize, but already mentioned that coming off a bye, and they should be prepared. And I think, under Matt Nagy, the whole thing is about details, paying attention to details, paying attention to all the little aspects of the game. And I think if they have an extra week to do it, there's no way they're not ready to take care of the Miami Dolphins unless they look too far ahead to the next week, because the next week's going to be tough. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I think the Bears take this one pretty easily. The one I just want to highlight a matchup that I'm excited for is going to be Akeem Hicks versus Josh Sitton, the former Bear. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
I think they got Sitton.
That's gonna be good. That is gonna be a good matchup.
It's gonna be a good one.
So, all right, Bears fans, we're walking down to South Beach with the win.
And this is a game I'm going to with like 30 fans of the podcast. So personally, this is the game I'm looking forward to this year. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's gonna be great, man.
That's awesome, man.
That's an awesome road game to go to down to Miami. I've never been, so that's
I've been once. Cool. It's a great city.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. The Bears podcast and the fans are heading out to South Beach. Check that game out and bring some good luck. All right. Not that I don't think we really need it. We're going to kick their ass.
Y'all better. If y'all don't,
they can just take it to week 7 and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Week 7. Bears back at home facing the evil empire, New England Patriots. Man. I'm going to say this is a loss for me here. Tom Brady, this is a team that's just still one of the elite teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the with a loss here, man. What do you think, Will?
Well, I don't think I need to say too much. It's going to be tough. They're already a really, really good team. Yeah. They even brought in, Danny Slayton and Adrian Claiborne, so they're even better. I'm interested to see how we can handle Gronk. I think, with our linebackers, especially with Roquan now, our safeties with Jackson and Amos, that we might be able to mitigate the damage there. And if so, that's going to be our best chance to win this game. But you really can't bank on that. Last year New England had the number 1 offense in football, and the defense got better. And I think they're going to be much better than they were a year ago. So it's tough. I wish the Bears could win this game. I really want to see the Bears take care of Tom, but it's just very hard to confidently say they will. So I'm going to say they don't.
Okay. This one, I got Patriots, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think, though. Now,
I hope so.
Patriots they lost a lot of pieces. They lost obviously Malcolm Butler. They lost Dion Lewis, and he lost 2 offensive linemen, Cameron Fleming and also Nate Soldier. So they did draft Isaiah Wynn out of Georgia, so they've helped with the guard position.
That was a great pick.
But I think Chicago might be able to get pressure. And Gronk, yeah, you made a good point. Gronk, who can really guard Gronk? We went to that game in New Orleans, and they were slowing him down for a little bit, and then all of a sudden he just breaks off an 80-yard touchdown. So it's like Gronk can go off at any point. So it's like I picked New England, but I think Chicago can make this a close game. I think just the experience of Bill Belichick having now at this point they have tape on Mitchell Trubisky.
Right.
And what does Bill Belichick do the best? He takes away your best piece. So I think at this point, there's about third quarter, that's when the New England Patriots pull away. But y'all are gonna make it close though. Okay. That's what I see.
All right. Heading into week 8.
Yeah.
Chicago still at home facing the New York Jets. From what I saw in preseason and from what I hear out of Jets training camp, I think Sam Darnold will be the guy to start week 1 for the Jets. And I don't think it's even close. Anyone's really competing with him. Yeah. So I'm expecting him to be the starting quarterback here. The Jets, I think they're building something special over there, and they're maybe 2-3 years away, but they're not there yet. And I think the Chicago Bears are going to get this win. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, Sam Darnold is going to be a good quarterback, I think, in the long term. But y'all's defense,
they lost some pieces on the defense.
Their defense lost pieces, but y'all's defense got better. Roquan, you already know how much I love Roquan. I wanted him to come to Dallas. Now, that didn't happen. But Roquan Smith, especially getting him signed, which is great, and I'm glad y'all got that taken care of. Y'all's defense is going to be taking care of business against a rookie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see Sam
or whoever's
Darnold.
That quarterback.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, rookie going against that defense. Yeah, I think Chicago takes care of this, especially on the road, or Jets on the road, y'all at home. So
yeah, what do you think, Nick? Will?
Nick would appreciate that you call me him. I'm sure he's like, yes, they're thinking about me. That's so Nick. But guys, I'm going to go with the Bears here. Jets 5-11. Like you said, they're building something, but I think they're a couple steps behind where the Bears are in terms of the rebuild. So I think the Bears should be able to take care of business here. You talked about it. If it is going to be a rookie quarterback, Vic Fangio has a way of, disguising some coverages, some schemes, some blitzes to really confuse those guys. And I don't have the stats in front of me, but I'm pretty sure rookie quarterbacks against Vic Fangio is not pretty for the rookie quarterback. So for me, I'm going to go for the Bears here as we are now 3/4 of the way through the AFC East little mini marathon here in the schedule.
Yeah. And we're going on to the next AFC East team here in week 9 on the road in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. This is a team that scares me a little bit. I mean, you never know what you're going to get from Buffalo. This is a team that always plays with a ton of heart. I really respect what they do over there. Josh Allen looks pretty good, but we're not sure if he's going to be starting. A.J. McCarron, they have Kelvin Benjamin over there, who also looks really good right now, and so I'm gonna go with the Bears win right here on the road.
On the road,
but I'm a little sketchy on it. This Bills team, I don't know.
Now,
their defense.
They did lose Cordy Glenn, remember? Right?
Yeah.
They traded him off, so it's going to be interesting what happens with their offense line. I'm kind of worried about that. Maybe that's why A.J. McCarron might still be starting. Because I'm not sure if they want to throw that rookie out there.
Incognito retired.
Yeah, Incognito retired also. So I think y'all are gonna have advantage there.
So you got a Bears win?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
I hate to see you smile. God.
All right, Will. Is this a Bears win?
On paper I think they can do this, but now I'm playing the numbers game because if I have them winning this game, I have them at 6-2, and I think that it's a little bit too far. I'm a big fan of the team. Yeah. I love everything that they're doing, but I feel like if they go 6-2, I'm not going to complain. I just don't see it happening. So I feel like, say you had a big win against the Jets. I had them losing against the Patriots. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go win loss. No, whatever the pattern is, there's a pattern going on here in the AFC East. But for me, I think the Bears are going to be on the slightly wrong end of this, just because they're going to be at Buffalo, and I feel like they're going to bring the noise there. And there's a guy on their defense that worries me, and his name is Trey White. Yes. Last year, he just had a great season. I think I actually have the numbers in front of me because he's someone I wanted to pay attention to. 18 passes defense, 4 interceptions. When he was passer rating, when targeted, is only 68.2. So I feel like he's going to be able to take away whoever is going to be the Bears' most proficient target in the passing game, because by week 9, I think that person's going to finally come out. I think the first half of the season are going to kind of like, work on it, figure out a groove, figure out who's, because it could be Anthony Miller, could be Allen Robinson. Hell, it could be Trey Burton. We don't know, but I think whoever it is, White's going to shut him down, and then it's going to be up to Trubisky to kind of find, option 2, option 3, and make it work. I think the Bears have a good chance here, but just for me, numbers game, I'm going to say 5-3 halfway through the season seems a little bit more realistic.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, right. I love Tre'Davious White, man. Yeah, that guy is good. That's a good point.
All right, let's head into Week 10. Chicago Bears at home, hosting against those Detroit Lions. Now, this is a team that I think also made some really good moves. NFC North. I don't think another division in the NFL made a bigger splash during the offseason and in the draft than our division. I love the hiring of Matt Patricia for them. I think that was a really good move. Matthew Stafford is a quarterback that I highly respect. But spoiler alert, I think this is going to be a split series between the two teams, and I think we're going to get this win here at home against the Detroit Lions. Will, what do you think?
Oh, I'm at a win here too. Even though the Bears have lost the last 9 out of 10 games against Detroit, I feel like those games have been very close. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know it's been a lot of one-score games over the past 2 to 3 seasons. And I think now with the new look offense, and especially at this point of the season, we should be scoring way more than our atrocious, 15 points per game scored last year on offense. So for me, the Bears are going to score enough. The defense is going to hold the Lions to a respectable degree. And just a fun fact, guys, last year for the New England Patriots, when Patricia was the defensive coordinator, they gave up 40 points twice last year. That was against the Eagles and Matt Nagy's Chiefs, so both very similar offenses. So maybe it's kind of like that Patricia kryptonite. So we'll see if that kind of comes to fruition here Week 10. But yeah, I have the Bears winning this one.
Nice. Great insight.
Oh. Yeah. This one's going to be close. Yeah, like you said, they've always been pretty close, right? But I don't feel like y'all have had an offense in the past years like y'all do now, especially with the weapons and an offensive-minded coach like Matt Nagy. Mm-hmm. I think y'all should be able to win this, especially at home here. Now, I think Detroit's got the weapons. They've always been an offensive team, and their defense just isn't there yet. So y'all just actually have the weapons to take advantage of that now. So I think y'all pull this out, especially at home.
Okay.
So.
All right, let's head into Week 11, guys. Chicago at home against Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
Man, yeah, exactly, Will. Exactly.
This is where it gets kind of rough.
The Vikings, not only are they probably the best team in the division going into this year, I think they're one of the top 2 teams in the entire conference in the NFC.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the loss here. I think Minnesota's going to come into Chicago and be able to get the job done. I mean, they're just a little bit too much here.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay. Yeah, and this is actually, they're coming off a bye week going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 2 weeks to prepare.
Yep.
To look at tape from Matt Nagy. Like you said, Will, what player is the guy? Their defense is still solid. Oh, God. Harrison Smith is one of my favorite safeties. Very underrated, I think, in my opinion. So,
Dalvin Cook's back.
Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's in Chicago. It's on the road. But you got to have a defense. You got to have a running game. And they have those 2 things to win on the road. Mm-hmm. I think they go in there and take care of business, man. Sorry.
What do you think, Will?
Geez, I had to pause because a part of me wants to just say, you know what, the Bears are going to go out there and win it. But you bring up some good points. I mean, it's the Vikings. They're really, really good. Best defense in the NFL a year ago. Top 10 offense. Yep. An offense that shouldn't be taking any steps back, especially with Dalvin Cook out there. Should even be better. Yeah. So it's really hard to say the Bears are going to win because X, Y, or Z. I just feel like this is a statement game. And if they want to find a way to make their statement, like we have arrived in the NFC North, you win this game. You beat the Detroit. You beat Minnesota. I already had them beating Green Bay Week 1. If you do that and you're 3-0 in the division, you're on notice. Like everyone in the North knows that you have came to play. Now we'll talk about the 3 games afterwards and how that kind of will unfold. But this is a statement game, so I don't see them winning it on paper. But when we get to this point in the season, especially if the Bears have a winning record, look for them to try to make a statement and really make this game close. And again, the Bears have lost 6 out of the last 7 against Minnesota. I can feel like I can say the last X out of Y for every divisional opponent lately. But I think they've had some closer games, and this defense should be able to take care of the running game for the most part. We'll see what they can do with Cousins. But again, statement game if they have something to play for this time. If the whole season just goes down to 2 before Week 11, we'll see what kind of Bears team we get. But if they have a winning record, I feel confident they can come out there and make this a game.
Right.
Okay.
And now, Bears fans, if there's a good reason why we could possibly win this game, Kirk Cousins is a guy who is a Jekyll and Hyde type of quarterback. It's very possible he can go into this game and have a bad day. We see bad Kirk Cousins, and for whatever reason, he's just out there throwing the dumbest passes you've ever seen, and it's just losing it for the team. That's, I think, about the only thing
you're gonna have to have some
that could
touchdowns.
truly go our way to just get us that win. We see bad Kirk Cousins.
All right.
I'm interested to see how he plays over there in Minnesota.
Yeah, he looked good in the first preseason game. I'll say that.
Week 12, we are on the road playing against Detroit.
Yeah.
This is Thursday.
This is Thanksgiving, I believe.
I mean,
Thanksgiving game right here.
This time we're in Detroit. Like I said earlier, I already spoiled it. We're going to split the series, and Detroit's going to get the win here. As much as I would love to see the Bears win here on this holiday. But, Sean?
I got y'all splitting the series with Detroit. Detroit's a good offensive team. Hopefully Matt Patricia can put something together for their defense, but I think I could see this being a high-scoring Thanksgiving game. We're all getting fat, eating some turkey, and watching this game and being like, wow, this could be the best game of the day. Even saying, as a Cowboy fan saying that, I think this could be the best Thanksgiving game, just being a shootout. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to watch that game.
What do you think, Will?
Well, I have them winning the prior game, so I'm going to have them split here. It's Thanksgiving. Detroit usually plays some pretty good football on Thanksgiving. So I think, they're at home. That field, they usually get pretty rowdy, especially on Thanksgiving. They bring their best atmosphere. So for those reasons, they're going to have some tape on the Bears. They're going to adjust and with the atmosphere. And I just feel like you're coming off. And if, again, I had the Bears losing against Minnesota, but say somehow they win, it seems like a letdown game. So it's a short week, another divisional game. So for me, just because I have them splitting the series, I'm going to say Detroit. But again, it's a game they can win. It's just how the season's unfolding. I don't have them going to.
Yeah. All right, guys. Week 13, Bears on the road against the New York Giants. This is a team I'm a little high on going into this year. I think people are sleeping on the Giants. They revamped that offensive line. Getting they sold her.
And they sold
her from New England Patriots.
And Will Hernandez.
They drafted Will Hernandez, which I absolutely love. That was a great pick.
I know you wanted him for the Bears.
And of course, the drafting of Saquon Barkley, which is going to completely change that offense. It's going to give them that, that boost that they need. What you guys got with Zeke, Fournette gave to the Jaguars. That's what he's going to bring for the Giants. They've lacked a legitimate running game for such a long time. It's going to help out Eli Manning and that offensive line. And we already know they got some good weapons in the passing game with Evan Ingram. They got Odell Beckham Jr. And Sterling Shepard. This is a game that scares me, and I think the Giants are going to pull this off here at home, and a loss for us. Sean?
Yeah, I got the same thing. Giants, people forget just 2 years ago they were an 11-win team. They were in the playoffs, a wild card. Last year they just quit on their coach. The coach was just atrocious. What's Ben McAdoo? I almost forgot his name because he's that unmemorable. Ben McAdoo should just totally drove that team into the ground. Their morale, everything.
They got a legitimate coaching staff now.
I love their new head coach, Pat Shurmur. He was with the Vikings last year. I think he's going to be a great coach for them. So I think they're going to win this, man, at home. Your Bears are going to make it close, I think. But I think just the experience, like I said, of Eli and that weapon Odell. Nobody can guard Odell. Nobody. So,
how do you see this one playing out, Will?
Well, I say Kyle Fuller says otherwise. I think it'll be tough. It'll be tough, but no, I think Fuller, his most targeted corner a year ago, did a pretty decent job with that kind of workload, and he's playing very confidently so far through training camp. You guys saw the pick six in the last preseason game. The receiver did fall, but it's a ball that I've seen Kyle Fuller in the past drop, so I'm happy he caught it and was able to find some pay dirt there. But for me, you're right. The Giants have potential, and I think they're much better than that 3-13 record indicates a year ago. But I think the Bears will have slight edge here. I'm going to give the Bears the win. But the one, perhaps Achilles' heel, is going to be their new coach, Pat Shurmur. He has had plenty of experience going against the Bears' defense, especially under Vic Fangio over the past couple of seasons. So it's not like he's going into something totally blind. He should have a good idea how the Bears are going to attack his offense, and he has some counters to that. So we'll see how that plays out. But regardless, I still have the Bears winning here in Week 13.
All right. Great points, man. And you're right. Kendall Fuller has been he's been doing pretty good against those elite wide receivers.
Kyle.
Kyle. I always do that.
He always gets the first name.
I always get these
Kendall's
names mixed
a Redskin guy.
Yeah, Kendall just got traded from the Redskins to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I always get that mixed up.
Yep.
My bad, Bears fans. Go ahead and hit me up in the comment section.
He does it all the time, guys. Trust me.
All right, we're heading into Week 14. Bears at home against the Los Angeles Chargers. Man, Aaron Donald.
I think it's the Rams. Chargers. You did this.
It's off the rails now, guys.
Look how we did.
Fuller, the LA teams. I always get mixed up. Bears at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And now this is a team that is absolutely just ferocious, man. That D-line is sick. I do think that Donald is going to get that extension. I think he's just waiting on Khalil Mack to get his, and then he'll get his money. I think that's might be what happening. But he's gonna be a Ram, and Todd Gurley, Jared Goff, and those weapons he's got with now Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. This is a stacked team. I think they can come in here in Chicago and get this win.
Yeah, Rams. I look at them as
great secondary too. They got
Akeem Talib, Marcus Peters. Yeah. Those guys are ball hawks. Now,
that's what they were missing really last year.
Yeah, and now don't get me wrong. Marcus Peters is one of those guys that can give up big plays. He takes those big chances. So if Matt Nagy takes advantage of that, and Matt Nagy knows him, right?
Yeah,
he was over there. They practice together against each other all the time. So it's going to be interesting what happens there. But I got the Rams. I think the Rams are just a little bit too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Will?
Oh, if the Rams have the kind of season that everyone's anticipating, it's going to be very hard for the Bears to come out with a win in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, they scored the most points in offense, had a really strong defense, and this defense is now even better with Sue now there and Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib. And, of course, you mentioned Aaron Donald. And for me, that front seven is going to be the biggest, of course, issue for the Bears. How can they combat that? And if, say, they have issues going up against that defense, how can the Bears defense actually slow down such a prolific offense? So it'd be really interesting to me to see how they kind of stack up. I think this would be a good game to see where they stand in terms of the rest of the NFC. Yeah. But if if James Daniels ends up starting for the Bears, either at center or guard at some point, which I hope by this week that they definitely is, and you have him and Kyle Long's healthy, which is a big if still at that point, and Cody Whitehair, I think the Bears can do so, push the pile a little bit in terms of going up against that really scary offensive line. But I still think more often than not, Aaron Donald's going to get the better of you. So for me, unfortunately, the Bears are going to start. I'm a Lovie Smith guy. I mean, of course, I moved on. It's been almost a decade, but I still break down the season into 4 quarters. So the Bears are going to kick off the 4th quarter here with a loss.
Okay.
Now, I do want to point this out. Now, it is in Chicago late in the year, and this is an LA team. So I want to throw that out there. So, hey, could this be a trap game for the Rams? It could be. And y'all are a team that can pull off those upsets with y'all's talent, and y'all are such a young team. I just want to throw that out there.
Like
I appreciate the confidence.
Yeah.
I like assessment there. This is going to be a great test for us, and I'm looking forward to this matchup. But I do have the Los Angeles Rams winning this game. All right, heading into Week 15, Chicago Bears at home against the Cheeseheads once again, and I think we're going to win this game. We're going to split this series, and we're going to win this game here at home. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Because Green Bay Packers are probably, fighting for, seeding in the playoffs at this point, maybe. Yeah. And I think Chicago Bears are going to get this win.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that too, Josh. I think at this point y'all
Put
have
it on that.
We're
going to beat the Packers in Week 15.
God, I don't know. That's so weird.
Good luck.
That's such a weird hat, Josh. But no, I got y'all splitting the series in Chicago. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have MVP type season, but I think at this point the offense is going to get rolling. Y'all are going to get a little surge. Y'all want to ruin the Packers' little playoff hopes if they make it or where they're at in seeding.
Okay,
y'all want to kind of ruin that. So I think y'all take care of business Week 15 here.
All right, how about you, Will?
Well, I had a winning Week 1, so and my reasons were Packers started off the season slow and they were not going to have any tape. Well, Week 15. The Packers are usually, if they're a good team in December, they're playing their best football. So that's going to be very tough regardless where it's at. And they're going to know what the Bears are going to be doing on offense by this time around. So for me, if the Bears win week 1, they're going to lose here in week 15. But again, I can see your guys' way as well. But for me, the reasons being Packers sort of slow, tend to play better in December, and they're going to have some more tape. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to do things that I don't even want to think about.
All right, guys, let's head into week 16.
Yeah.
We're on the road against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
Trubisky versus Jimmy G. 49ers. I think we're going to go to San Francisco and get this win.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they have enough defensively to keep up with us. And, as long as Jimmy G doesn't go off, which I don't think he will against, our defense, his wide receivers. Marquise Goodwin, okay, I like him. Pierre Garçon, I mean, he's 31 years old. He's very old. He's been kind of inconsistent lately. I'm going with the Chicago Bears here on the road.
Yeah, San Francisco, but Jimmy G's the greatest, right? And that's what all the 49ers fans think. He's the greatest of all time already.
Yeah.
But no, I think y'all should be able to take care of business. They don't have a red zone guy yet. They don't have a true number one. I've been saying that. They never addressed it. I thought they should go after Dez, get some kind of guy that could put up touchdowns. But they haven't addressed that yet. So I have to go with Chicago here. The defense. Being in San Francisco, y'all have good weather. I think y'all be able to take care of business.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you see this one playing out, Will?
Well, I feel better now that it's not going to be Garoppolo's debut, because I feel like the Bears and 49ers quarterbacks debuting Kaepernick, Garoppolo, even Matt Barkley. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to talk about Matt Barkley, but no, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, they end up having a field day against the Bears, and why is this? It doesn't matter who's playing defense, who's coaching the team. Yeah. It just seems like that's always been the case for our Bears, but we're going to have some tape on them. We're going to know what they're kind of doing. And you've already mentioned the lack of a red zone threat, a lack of a number one. And I think the Bears, I have them, losing against Green Bay. And there's only 2 games left, both of them being on the road. They should hopefully at least split the last 2. So I'm going to give them here San Francisco because, of course, week 17. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But, yeah, I think I'm not really overly worried about anyone besides perhaps Garoppolo just sticking it to us again. He's an Illinois native, so he's someone's like, oh, here we go, the Bears. I'm going to show them they should have traded for me anyway. But I'm going to give the Bears this one.
Okay. All right. And let's head into week 17. To end the year, we're on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm going to say the Vikings are going to get this win here and sweep us.
Sweet.
Yes, because the Vikings here in week 17, I think they got something to play for. They're fighting for seeding for, I think, in my scenario here with the New Orleans Saints, with the Rams, with the Eagles, maybe the Atlanta Falcons. So they got something to play for here in week 17. They need this game. They're good enough to do it. I think they sweep us and get this win here to end the year.
Yeah, I'm actually leaning towards that too. Just, the NFC is stacked. There's so many good teams. They can't take any week off. Before you've seen some teams rest their starters week 17 and stuff like that. But the NFC, no team making the playoffs can take any week off. So I think I see Minnesota, especially at home in their stadium, they pull out this W.
Also throw the Packers in there too. I mean, they might be fighting for the division here at this point in week 17. But how do you see this one playing out, Will?
Really, it all depends on what's there to play for at this point for either team. If the Vikings are clinched, I understand maybe they won't take a week off in terms of their starters out, but you better believe their focus is already going to be on the playoffs. Yeah. So for me, again, it just depends. If say the Bears, I think right now I have them sitting at 7-8. Obviously, if the NFC shapes up how we anticipate it, 7-8 is not going to even get close to a wild card. Yeah. So the Bears then will be playing for pride. It depends on where the morale is of this team heading into 2019. If they want to go out there and find a way to win this game on the road. And again, it depends on how the first game between these two work out, if the Bears end up making it a statement game or not. But for me, say they lose the first one against the Vikings. The Vikings are sitting there again, 13-2, and the Bears are sitting there 7-8, and the Vikings already got the bye, maybe even home field advantage. If that's the case, I think the Bears might squeak away here, just so the game that the Vikings didn't really care about, and we're already looking ahead for the playoffs. But that might be the only reason why.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair points. Now, overall, as of right now, I have the Chicago Bears at 9-7.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a really good year for us. I think our floor is 7-9. I think we win at least 7 games. And I think our ceiling max is 10-6. Everything's working great. We stay healthy. Everything's. I think
that's the big thing with y'all.
I think 10-6 would be our ceiling. Sean.
Yeah, I have y'all 8-8. Now I had y'all starting off pretty good, but I had y'all lose the last 7 games. There was a tough stretch, and I had y'all losing those 5 out of 7 there, and y'all ended the season 8-8. Now, could y'all win some of these games? I could see y'all possibly beating the Giants. Even earlier in the year, I had y'all losing the Arizona Cardinals. I see y'all winning that. Could possibly win that game. So yeah, I could see y'all easily going 10-6. Okay. So there are some of those games, but I could still see you losing some of those, like maybe to the Jets or Buffalo Bills, because you never know with those teams.
Yep.
So that's probably 7-9 to 10-6 is probably the range I'm looking at, but I have y'all 8-8 right now.
Will?
I think we're all in the same range for 7-9 to 10-6, depending on how the schedule shakes out and what team shows up on the week-to-week basis. Yeah. I think throughout this show, I have 8-8. I don't know if I talked myself into 8-8 because we're coming out with a season preview, like ebook magazine here in about a week or two, and in it I have 9-7. So maybe go walking through the schedule. Maybe I need to update that. But I always feel like 8-8's like a cop-out record, right? Like, you're not gonna say a winning or a losing. If I had to put money on it, I would say the Bears have a better chance of a winning record than perhaps a losing record this year. So I'm sitting on the fence at 8-8, but I think 9-7 is highly obtainable. It just depends on how that. You mentioned the second half of the schedule is brutal. The Bears have the 8th hardest schedule in the league, and I think the majority of that strength of schedule comes from that second half.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to say 8-8, but who knows? We'll see. They can definitely surpass that goal, and I'm not going to complain one bit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's all going to boil down, especially y'all two. Y'all know this. It's y'all's health.
Yeah.
And y'all just stay healthy, please.
Yeah, we've been one of the most injured teams in the last 3 years. So.
Yeah, last 2 years, the most games lost, like adjusted games lost due to like injuries. I don't know the exact number, but it's really bad, and it's by like a large margin too. So
wish us health. And Chicago Bears fans, we want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What you think about the Chicago Bears season? What do you have their record being? Do you see any special upsets? Maybe is there a chance we could beat the New England Patriots? I don't know, but let us know your thoughts. And once again, we want to thank Will Dewitt of the Chicago Bears, the Bears podcast.
The Bears Brothers.
The Bears Brothers podcast. I'm sorry, and my bad, man. And shout out to Brandon and Nick, who I mentioned earlier. In the show.
There we go. Nick's gonna love the second shout out. Now you got his head inflating as we're speaking. Could I actually could I do a hijack this real quick and just do a quick plug?
Of course.
Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Just real quick, for any Bears fans who are watching or listening, I know the Sports Fury, they do a great job with those. You guys do primetime games like the play-by-play. Is that what you guys were saying earlier?
Yeah.
All right, so for any Bears fans who want more content after the games, what we started with, our podcast, is a post-game show. So as soon as every Bears game is over, head over to YouTube, to our channel. We'll be doing a live post-game show each and every week. And that's actually how we got started. The podcast has taken off in multiple directions since then. But if you're looking for more post-game analysis for the Bears, check out our YouTube channel. Best way to do it.
All right.
Awesome.
So once again, the links to the Bears Brothers podcast and their website, and go follow them. They're my go-to guys for all Bears coverage. They're absolutely amazing, and you guys are gonna love them too. And we'll send them your way, man. As soon as the Bears games are over, we'll send them your way for sure. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, guys. Keep up the good work over there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, man.
we appreciate
you.
Seriously.
And you're welcome back anytime. You and Nick, Brandon, the Bears Brothers, you guys are welcome back anytime.
Sounds great. Can't wait.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the 2018 season. Later!